Begin Podfix Network transmission in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Yummy and Fearless podcast with the Side Chicks, where we offer our side of the issues. Thank you so much for listening. Please follow us at Yummy Fearless on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and even Pinterest, where you'll find additional content from today's show. You can also listen to us on Apple iTunes, YouTube, Stitcher, and Spotify. Please rate, like, review, subscribe, and share. And if no one else has told you today, we love you. Now let's get into the show. Mo.
What it looked like.
What's up, Playboy?
Can't call it.
So did you talk to your friends so that you guys could bond over something other than hoes?
Okay, see.
What? I'm just asking for
You
your...
starting.
This
There you
is
go.
for your safety.
First of all,
Okay.
I don't consort with hoes.
Okay.
For the record.
Non-hoe consorter. Okay.
That's right. You do not consort with hoes.
You don't consort with hoes.
That's right.
Answer the question, though.
Answer the question. What was the question?
Have you and your boys come up with something to bond over other than hoes?
What boys are you talking about? I don't know. I don't understand.
The locals there, so that when you have a medical concern, you don't want to be like Kevin Samuels, where you have a medical emergency and you with a hoe.
First of all,
What?
You keep referencing these hoes with
What?
you shouldn't defame the character of women like that.
No, I respect
number one. Number two, I don't consort with hoes, so
okay.
You don't have to be concerned with me being in a Kevin Samuels situation.
Okay, all right. You don't
The one American guy that I communicate with here, he's aware. He'll check in.
Okay, you got one American guy that's aware and that will check in. But like, have y'all? I'm just saying, as far as
here you go again. Go ahead.
I didn't even say anything yet.
I know how your mind works, so come on.
I'm just saying that, like.
No. I reject whatever you're about to say.
You didn't even let me say it.
Cause you on that BS.
But you're not letting me. You don't even know what I'm gonna say.
You already trying to suplex the pussy. See,
I'm not trying. No, y'all the one suplexing the pussy. And while you suplexing the pussy, all I'm saying is
we ain't even got. We haven't even started your recording. You're already on 10. Keep on.
We ain't even started yet.
I know.
You tripping.
You haven't even started and you already on 10.
You trying to preempt me before I even can get a
I'm gonna need you to keep it PG-13 and quit trying to implicate me in dealing with hoes.
I'm just
you trying. You doing your best too.
No, I was just trying to ask a question. Like, if after that happened, did any of your peers were y'all like, man, I don't want to get caught in a heart emergency? That's all.
This is gonna be a short recording.
I'm just asking. God, because I don't know. It just seemed like it's some lesson learned that could be.
I don't know nothing about any of that. All I know is that the one American guy that I do confide in here.
Okay.
He's aware and he checks.
Okay. So even though you don't consort with hoes,
I have nothing to do with anyone else. And I don't have anything to do with anyone else or who they consort with. I have nothing to do. I have nothing to do with any of that.
But you communicate with other gentlemen
Only
who do.
Only one. Nope. Only
Who
one
do
person.
consort
Only
with
one.
hoes. Who do consort with hoes.
I only consort with. I only
Okay.
communicate with one dude.
That consorts with hoes.
No, he has a girlfriend here. So
So
therefore, I don't know what anybody else does. I don't speak to anyone else on a consistent basis here. Just
so
one person.
none of
So
your
there are no
boys
follow-up
suplex the
questions
pussy.
for that. There's no follow. There's no follow-up
None of your
questions.
boys suplex the pussy where you at. That's what you saying.
I don't know. I don't have any boys. I told you. I only communicate with one dude here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay. I mean, okay.
yeah.
If that's
I'm
what
trying to help you.
you're not, I'm
I'm,
trying
I'm,
to help
I'm trying. You're
you.
trying to help me.
I
I,
am.
I don't need no help. You trying to tell Ike?
I'm trying to help Ike. Okay.
Yeah, I see. Eat the
I'm
cake.
trying. No, I'm just saying.
Eat
I
the
was just
cake, anime.
listen,
Eat the cake. Eat the
listen, Ike.
cake.
Sing the song like I wrote it, Tina.
Eat,
Okay.
eat the cake. Eat the cake,
Listen,
anime. Eat the cake.
listen. I was just trying to say, when things happen, you got to look at them and think of other people and yourself, but other people that may be able to get a good life lesson out of it.
I don't know anything about nobody else's life or their lessons. All I
Okay.
know is the people that I'm cool with, the one person.
Okay. No,
Yeah, yeah.
one whole consortia. Okay. We don't know.
Wow.
That's fine though. That's fine. That's fine. You only know one whole consorter. That is
I
fine.
don't know. I don't know anyone who consorts with anything. I don't know anyone here but one person, and he's been here for 3 years, and he's had a girlfriend all
And,
3 years that he's here.
and he is not a whole consorter either.
As far as I know, no.
You don't know any whole consorters, so none of these cautionary tales are applicable to either you or anyone you know, is what you're trying to tell me.
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
Spot on. You're doing a great job.
Okay. Well, that's a
Great,
blessing. If in fact
great
that's true.
job.
Trying to help. Okay.
I don't know why you're trying to portray some nonsense in here tonight, but
I'm not.
I'm with you,
I'm
Fit. Don't
not.
worry.
I just know certain things you get real tense and standoffish, and I don't want that for you tonight.
I know how to bust. Don't worry. I'm good. I ain't
Oh,
gonna
not
hold
I know
nothing.
how to bust.
I'm not gonna hold nothing back.
You're not suplexing the pussy right now, so that is not the appropriate phrase,
Hey,
okay?
the pussy is always getting suplex.
No, and
Mhm.
Dark Phoenix.
He said he's not a horror consorter. So he's
Oh,
not a whole
I am not.
oh,
Thank
oh.
you very much.
You heard him pretending to not be a whole consorter?
Pretending.
I think that
Ain't
maybe
no,
the proper
ain't
name
no
is
pretense
Scott.
in this. Ain't no pretense in this.
Okay.
All
I
right.
don't have to. I don't have to lie to kick it with y'all.
Well, okay. So they
Okay.
say.
And Mo,
Yes.
you are hilarious. Oh, well, he
Thank you.
docked my pay. Okay.
You're gonna have to take lead.
Right.
Hey, come to work on time.
Okay, Mo. We got now just for that. See, I was on your team. Now the gloves come off. We got questions.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
What's your question?
Do you know why you're here? Do you know?
I understand the concept and the premises. Yes.
Okay.
But he already was being real tight assed about, I started the discussion and he already was,
Because you started off with some bullshit. But
it
we
wasn't no
good.
bullshit. I'm trying to protect. I'm trying to
We're
protect
good. Your
men.
your audience knows you by now, so don't
No,
worry.
protect black men. I'm trying to protect black men, so I'm trying to be like,
You
listen.
you're trying you're trying to create a narrative, but it's all
No, I'm
right.
not. I'm trying to
Let's
protect.
rewrite the narrative then, Mo. Let's rewrite it. Let's see what the
There's no
narrative really
need to
is.
rewrite it. I straightened it out, but I'll follow your lead. Go ahead, Dark Phoenix.
we want to get a glimpse into your world and know what it means to be loved by women in all the continents?
So first of all, you'd be disappointed with my life because it's a rather boring one. But throughout my years in the military, I don't know. So you want to know? You said you wanted to know how it feels to be what now?
To be adored by women on all the continents, or to love women on all the different continents, or various continents.
I think it's liberating when you have the ability to connect with people of different cultures and different countries. There's a certain freedom that's involved with it for sure.
What does it
you
take?
learn a lot, huh? I'm sorry.
Go for it.
No. Go ahead.
I just want to know, what does it take to generate that type of appeal to the opposite sex? What does that take? What does that look like on a day-to-day? Do you have to speak all the languages? Are there languages?
I think you have to be willing to communicate. So not all the languages.
Draw in the sand with your dick.
Ladies and gentlemen, the comments of Yums. No matter how offensive.
It just seemed like that would be a good.
That's a good start.
It's a good start.
If you had a penis, you'd be drawing something in the sand with your penis.
If there was a language breakdown and I
needed more graphic. You'd be drawing pictures in the sand with your penis, if you had one.
If I needed to be more graphic
or eggplant, right?
Right, eggplant.
Then,
okay.
So
Yums, is that your preferred method of communicating?
If I had a dick,
in the sand with your penis?
If I had a dick and I needed to communicate in more of a graphic sense, then I would consider it. I'd put it on the table. Okay, so you don't.
So that sounds very primitive. Can I answer Dark Phoenix's question before you interject?
Knock yourself out.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
So Dark Phoenix, as I was saying, I think you have to have a willingness to communicate, and it's really no different than communicating with American women. You just have to have a listening ear and be willing to communicate. I think all women appreciate that.
So how many countries have you what? I'm feeling attacked.
She is ready to go tonight. She is raring.
I'm just trying to quantify some of this in between, to get an idea. How many countries have you been to?
Wow, okay, that's a good question, Yums. Let's see. Japan.
Okay.
Korea.
Okay.
Where else?
Guam. Well, that's a territory.
Guam's American territory.
I know, but it's its own culture, though.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Hong Kong, Germany, Colombia, been to Mexico, been to Belgium, the Netherlands, France.
Wow.
It's well over 10, I think.
Yeah, you're up to 10 now. Now, have you found love in each of these places?
I wouldn't call it love, but I've met women everywhere that I've been. Yeah.
Did you use your dick to draw the sand in every country?
Unfortunately for you, Yums, I'm not that primitive.
All right.
That would be quite a skill, though.
That would be a skill, and I'm sure that Yums would appreciate it.
Like, where the beach?
I know how to say this to you. Just meet me at the beach.
Let's take it down to the water. I can get
no sign language needed.
Right. No.
So you said you haven't found love, but you made love in all of these places?
I have met women, and I've been able to relate to them in those
Oh,
places. Yes.
he hit, in other
Oh,
words. He
oh,
smashed in every single one of
wow.
those places.
Did you use your your third leg?
You can't even keep a straight face with the foolery, can
I'm just trying to really understand. Did you use your third leg
That's the
in all of
impression I
these?
got.
you? I only have two legs.
I know but you got three. Did you use your three legs in all these countries?
I'm sorry, I don't understand the question.
Oh, he's blind, ladies and gentlemen. He's
And
So you
she's
had
Walt
sexual
Disney,
blind.
relations.
ladies and gentlemen. Yums is Walt Disney.
No, your ass is Walt Disney because you're not
No,
keeping it real.
I'm
Oh,
keeping it a buck.
You
I'm
pulled your
keeping it
dick out and wrote in the
1,000.
sand in all these countries.
come on.
Y'all don't need me on this
Come
recording.
on, Mo. Yes, we
Yes,
do.
we do.
We're trying to get an understanding. Come on.
I'm trying to help,
Okay.
but Yums won't stop.
Fine, I'm done. I'm out. I'm
Well,
done.
maybe if you use a euphemism, Yums.
I thought I did. I got him in the sand with his dick. I
Okay.
thought that was euphemism enough.
Maybe we should go with his.
That's a gross overreach, Yums. Gross overreach.
That's not sexy and subtle.
Not at all.
Maybe if we go with like his, did you use your member or Johnson or something?
What, to write in the sand? No, I've never used my tongue to
Oh.
write in the sand.
But you
Okay.
have used it. Okay, never mind. Okay.
Once or twice, Dark Phoenix. Once or twice.
Okay.
So, all right. In the international sense, because I think what we're getting at here is due to your unique experiences, having lived in different countries, having traveled to different countries, and being a single young guy, these experiences make you, as Prince would call it, an international lover. So,
Okay.
so in that sense, what's your type in terms of international women? Do you have like a preferred type?
No, I don't have a type necessarily. It's whoever is relatable that I meet, if they're willing to communicate and they're relatable and fun and have all of their teeth. And,
Oh, wow. So are you going to
it
act
generally
like
helps.
you don't have a thing for Eritreans?
Ooh.
I
That
wouldn't
says a
say that I
lot.
necessarily have a thing for Eritreans,
Just
but
East African girls in general.
I will say that East Africans are attractive to me. Yes.
Oh,
Mhm.
you just said a lot right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I prefer darker skinned women, no matter where I am. So
Okay.
whether it's in Europe, does actually have a lot of a lot of women of African descent there. But Asia, they have darker skinned Asians as well. So I prefer darker skinned people.
okay. So let's take a region.
Okay.
Let's deal with Asia.
Okay. Let's go with Asia.
Let's go with Asia. And so by Asia, we're saying, well, you know what? They are different countries. So Japan and South Korea are different countries. And Guam is also in the Pacific.
It is.
So I consider it, it's Asian, Pacific Islanders, I believe, technically.
Micronesia, technically.
Micronesia.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. So let's deal with a region.
Okay.
So if you were to describe the women of any place in the region, those 3 areas that you've been, how would you describe those women there?
What do you mean describe them? What are you looking for there? What do you
Like,
mean?
how are the women? So, like, for example, like, if I were to say the men in Japan are very polite.
The women in Japan are, in my opinion, they're very skittish almost. I think if they're not into American culture, there's really not anything that you can do to persuade them, or they're friendly and they'll be helpful, but if they're not into American men, and truthfully, and that's any country around the world, if they're not particularly checking for American men, then they're just not going to have anything to do with you, no matter what.
So when they do have something to do with you, how would you compare sex with the Asian woman with an American woman?
With an American woman. Let me see. Comparisons. I guess they all have sand for you to write in with your penis. In my experience, in my personal experience, Asian women seem to, how can I put this politically correct? They tend to make a lot of noise. Let me just say it that way. And that's just my personal experience. In no way am I saying that all Asian women are like that. In my experience, though, the majority of them make a lot of noise.
So are you saying more noise than you think was reasonable?
More than American women, right?
Yeah, more than American women for sure. But yeah, also more than what I believe is reasonable. Yeah. That you would think that you're from their reaction, you would think that you're suplexing the pussy. That's what. See, look, I got it in the show for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Are you happy?
I am. So you're suplexing the pussy. So I mean, don't you wonder what that's about, like culturally?
I'm not sure, and you know what? Truthfully, they could really be feeling like that. I don't know, but like we said, oh, you doubted it? Really?
Well, no, I'm just saying,
okay.
What are the chances?
Careful. But and maybe that's just, to them, they're not accustomed to, certain things as it pertains to that. I'm not sure, but yeah, I just don't understand it sometimes. When it reared its head, it was just like, all right, you can knock it off. I'm good. My ego is hurt.
That doesn't do something for your ego,
though. Nah, not really. Not at all. It's way too much. It's overkill, truthfully, in my opinion.
Is there a difference in the stature, maybe, or the inside makeup?
There is a difference in the stature. They're not the ones that I encountered are not very big frame wise. You know what I mean? So they are smaller and more slender. So that may have something to do with it.
Yeah, that can be it. Have you ever caught feelings?
Where, in Asia?
In Asia.
No.
Did you ever go to any of the juice bars in South Korea?
I think I did go to one or two because I wasn't stationed in South Korea. I just went there TDY a few times. So I've been to a couple. Yeah.
Did you buy any juice?
That's a good question. So it is mandatory when you go into a juice bar that you have to buy juice.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
You just can't enter in and hang out. You have to purchase a drink while you're in a juice bar.
You got to buy that juice.
Well, tell me more about the juice bar. What is this a euphemism for pushy?
No.
Okay.
So basically, and I can speak uh I can speak more eloquently on the ones in Japan. So what the setup is they have most of the girls stand outside, like on the sidewalk or whatever, and as people are walking by, they encourage you to come into the club, much like anywhere else in the world if they have an establishment where they want you to come in. And so if you decide to go in with a particular girl, then as soon as you walk in, the man of the house or the woman of the house will escort you to a seat and ask you what you want to drink, and then they'll ask if you want to buy the woman that you came in with a drink as well.
Okay.
And then they'll go get the drink for you and everything, and you sit there and talk if that's what it is that you came there for. Now there are there are areas in those juice bars where you can go to be a little more private and a little more intimate. They have those in there.
Oh.
I mean, a lot of men find their wives in these juice bars.
Seriously?
Seriously.
There is a large segment of the U.S. population. Well, no, not a large segment. A large segment of the U.S. population that are in those countries who meet women that work in those places, and then they do end up marrying them.
Whatever.
That's a true statement.
Yes.
That's a true statement. Yep.
Yes. You
But
probably have met a juice bar woman in the States.
Are they wife material like that?
You probably have.
Hell no.
What makes them wife material like that?
Not that they're wife material. So you have to more than the woman being wife material, you have to consider the man that's marrying her.
Right. He's not husband material.
That person is someone that you would totally overlook in American society.
Oh my!
You wouldn't pay any attention to them. They don't have the esteem or charisma to be able to hold your attention. Thus, that's why they go to a foreign country and marry a woman who can barely speak their language.
Oh my God! So it's like akin to the mail order bride type of thing.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You guys are way off base with that. I think
because
it's just,
look, you go in there to buy them a drink to have a conversation, and they both speak different languages. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me. I'm trying to understand.
It doesn't make sense to you because since you've been 12 years old, some dude has been writing in the sand with his dick in front of you. That's why it doesn't make sense to you. So for a man who is not able to command a room full of women or has the charisma or the charm to speak to a woman, going to a place like that, just having a woman show him attention means a lot to him. So that's why you wouldn't understand that.
Okay, so I have a question. So then the juice bar, it's not really a juice bar, huh? It's really a place where
it's a bar. They sell alcohol.
Yes.
Nah.
It's a whole spot.
Nope.
Men don't like it.
So Young,
yes,
can I ask you a question?
Well,
when was the last time you went into one of those bars, Youngs?
I got my own juice. Why would I be in a bar like that?
But you seem to know so much about them, and you have your own juice. But could you answer the question for the listeners? The listeners want to know when was the last time you've been to one.
Listen, listeners, I'm going to tell you something about me. People tell me a lot of stuff that they don't tell other people. Intimate, elaborate details. They tell me because I have a very unassuming demeanor and I make people feel comfortable. You want to know why? Because they can be comfortable with me. And people tell me things. Okay? But I would never be in a juice bar because I got my own juice.
So you've never been to a juice bar. Is that what you're telling your listeners?
I don't like your tone, young man.
I'm just asking questions.
I have never. Why would I be at a juice bar, Mo? You know I've never been to a juice bar.
Well, you speak as if you're the foremost authority on juice bars.
Well,
I'm trying to give some insight to your listeners,
I've
but you
never been
keep
to
on
Africa, but
saying
I know all about being black.
Oh,
you don't have to be black to be from Africa. Northern Africans aren't black, all black. South Africans aren't all black.
You know what I mean.
You know what I mean.
You know what I mean. So I'm just saying, men don't like for you to call certain things hoe pickup places. Not to say that all the places
Walmart's
are.
a whole pickup place. I mean, what are you trying to say? I'm trying to give you insight, but you keep on trying to interject your thought process on it. Let me tell you what it is.
All right, tell me what it is.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
So, like
You're
I
welcome.
said, there are areas in those places where you can go and be a little bit more intimate. It's a little bit more private. Now, in the ones that I have been in, to go into those places, once you sit in those areas, then the female will ask you, would you like to be would you like for your would you like to be handled
wow.
gently?
What the
Handle,
Yes, handled.
handled?
Handled,
like with her
yes.
hand?
Yes. With that, how else do you handle something, Darcy?
Hey, she may handle it with her mouth. I don't know. She, I don't
Not
know.
in my experience,
Okay.
but once again,
Oh, so that means like a hand job?
That's what I'm
very
trying to get
good,
at.
Young. Very good.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
because
so,
I
yeah,
been to a
know.
juice bar. I've never been to a juice bar, as you
I
pointed out.
know.
but that
I
is what that
know.
means. Is what that means, though?
Yeah. They offer you hand services.
What the hell in the youth?
Child.
Okay, this
Yes.
is changing the
Child.
paradigm here.
Excuse me.
I'm just trying to wrap my mind around. I'm thinking juice bar, like
Come on now, y'all are
Jamba
being very
Juice.
naive. There are people in America who go to watch movies and they're hand jobbing their man in the movies. Come on now, let's
Well,
not act
everybody
like
knows you might hand job your man, but
But you
well
don't go
these
to the
people.
movies to ask for a hand job.
So
I
let me.
don't think.
So look, these women, number one, who work there generally are sold into that lifestyle by their family
Oh my.
because their family owes some type of debt to someone who's powerful in their area. That's what I heard. And that's the last time I was in Asia was what, maybe 2000, 2001-ish, 2000, 2000.
Okay.
So, but the backstory in general is that a family owes some type of debt to someone who's powerful or whatever, and they ask them to pay up, and they say they have nothing to pay with. And so in that culture, what they will do, because daughters weren't valued, I don't know about today, but daughters weren't valued by the family. In fact, they were looked at as liability. So they would offer their daughters to pay servitude for the debts that they owe.
Oh, it's terribly sad.
mm-hmm.
So this is
Wow.
common. Are these common in that area? I mean, I'm just trying to get an understanding. Are these kind of rare establishments, or are they really common establishments?
Common.
Okay.
I know in Korea and Japan, and just in their culture in general, if you look at the geisha bars and all of those things, that like even the locals have their own version of those type places as well. So yeah, it's very good.
Okay.
So let me ask you this. I went on this tour once in Japan it was like a geisha house, and the lady just put in so much time pointing out, she's like, they were not prostitutes. They were not prostitutes. And I'm like, we didn't even ask.
Yeah,
Why?
that's pushing the narrative. That's pushing the
Yeah,
narrative.
like they go hard on the geisha is not a hoe. But
Now, what I will tell you is that culture probably, once again, like I was saying with American guys who marry women like that,
Mm-hmm.
generally those people who frequent those places either aren't savvy enough on their own in those societies to get someone to like them.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole they say that these women know how to treat a man and to spend time with the man, but yeah, it's the element of the population who isn't charming enough to make a woman want to
Right.
just deal with them in a relationship.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
is it targeted at American men or
No, it happens. I mean, all men are
welcome?
all men in those cultures frequent. Well, hold up, not all. Men from those cultures do frequent those
Okay,
establishments.
gotcha. Okay.
However, in places that have military bases, they will have places in close proximity that pretty much that almost predominantly cater
Okay.
to American men.
I wouldn't agree with that, but I mean, though there are areas close to U.S. military bases that have those services. Yes, I would say that, but they don't cater exclusively to military guys.
Okay, let's go to Europe.
Okay.
So, how would you classify your sexual experiences and or the women in Europe compared to American women?
Once again, I don't see any difference necessarily. And like I said earlier, I just meet, regular women and do regular stuff. Hey, you want to go hang out? You want to go to dinner? Whatever,
Mm-hmm.
Someone to have fun with, someone to show me around. So I don't think there's much difference.
Are you finding darker skinned women in Europe at all?
Yeah, there are a lot of African women in Europe.
Okay.
So this is where you could get into your East African fetish.
Really? That is the first place that I met a woman from East Africa. Yes, that's the first place. Europe.
With a British accent, probably. No?
No, not because I was stationed in Germany, but I
Okay.
was
German.
more near the Germany, Dutch, and what is the other one? Germany, Dutch, Belgium border.
Belgium.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, nowhere near
Okay.
Great Britain.
Okay. And so you're saying Europe is pretty similar to America.
Yeah.
Okay. Then let's go to South America.
Let's.
All right. So how would you classify the women in South America?
I think South America's culture is a lot more family oriented. So those women generally tend to want to be in relationship and and I think they look at American men as being rich no matter what, and
Mm-hmm.
they may try to they may try to create a connection quicker and push relationship or marriage or a little bit faster than most places in the world, and that's my experience.
Okay. And so if you compared them sexually with like the women in Asia who are very expressive, how would you compare them?
I think they're very emotionally expressive.
Okay.
Not necessarily verbally so, but they what my experience has been in South America is that you don't have to know them and immediately they're calling you love or baby or honey or something like that. They're using some sort of word or term of endearment, and it actually kind of draws you in a little bit, like, whoa, you know what I mean? It's like being down south with a waitress. Hey, sugar, what you want today? Or hey, baby, what can I get you? Or hey, honey, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it now that kind of plays on you mentally, or played on me mentally initially.
Okay. So, which woman from which region made you want to come back again and again?
That's a great question.
Which woman from which region? All of them. All the women from all the regions. I mean,
Come
we're
on.
talking. We talking about pussy here. I'm assuming. I'm gonna take off the kid gloves now.
All of it. All of it.
If we just talking about pussy, it's just like who doesn't want to go to whatever region wherever pussy's located? It's universal.
And you just would want to be a
So
repeat
who would be
visitor.
like, oh yeah, nah, I ain't going to Latvia because pussy over there is crazy. Yeah, nah, come on, man. Nobody thinks like that.
So, which women in which region were the freakiest?
I bet I can guess. Asian
What's
women.
your guess, Dark Phoenix?
I'm gonna say Asian women are the freakiest.
Nah,
No?
they're pretty much prudish.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah. I would definitely have to say the Europeans.
What?
That
surprises me.
I don't know
All the
why.
Kama Sutra stuff I've heard about. Okay.
What made the Europeans the freakiest?
Because if you notice, Europe has nude beaches, and their thought process on sex is not as closed off or narrow as Western sensibilities or the United States is. You know what I mean? They're a lot more freer in thought and expression as it pertains to sex.
Ooh, say more about that. I want to hear more about that. Like, are they less inhibited? They're more casual about it. They are. All of that. Okay.
And that's not to say that, they're just walking down the street saying, hey, you want to have sex or nothing like that, but it's not taboo to them. When I lived in Germany, I had neighbors next door, and they had a pool in their backyard. And, I could see into their backyard. So if I went out in my backyard, they're laying out in the pool, laying out by the pool, the wife and the daughter, topless, sunbathing or whatever. And if they hear me come out the door, they wave and say hi and all that stuff, and not try to cover up, not try to run in the house, anything. You know what I mean? It's just their culture thinks totally different than American culture thinks about nudity.
How are their bodies?
They're pretty much in shape. So Germans, I can't speak for all of Europe, but Germans for sure. They maintain themselves pretty well. They walk a lot, especially after dinner or in the morning. So yeah, they keep themselves well maintained.
Okay. So, who was the easiest?
Who's the easiest? I don't know. That's a relative term, because what one person may think is hard, the other person, there's not much resistance or pushback. So I can't say that any particular nationality or culture is easier than the other one. I didn't have any problems when I set my mind to trying to meet somebody. I didn't have any problems.
In other words,
and I'm an average dude. I'm average all the way across the board. All right, Miss Pearly. Shout out to Miss Pearly. R.I.P.
He ain't had no problem.
He ain't had no problem.
He ain't had no problems. No resistance.
Right.
All right.
Everybody likes to hang out with me.
I see.
Look at there.
Look at there.
Hey, I got that in too, young.
Oh man. you that dude. Okay.
No, I'm not.
So Dark Phoenix and I recently we were discussing Pride Month, and we were comparing today's climate of Pride Month to the 90s when we were in college at a black college.
Mm-hmm.
And so based on statistics and by today's standards, there had to be gay people in college when we were in college.
Right.
Where were they at and how did they stay hidden? Do you remember? Because you went to a black college too.
Right. Right.
Do you remember gay people or anything when you were in college?
I remember one female who everybody suspected. So we had a softball team.
I knew it.
And on the softball team, I would venture to say like maybe 3 or 4 girls on the softball team. But as you guys know, at a HBCU, and ours wasn't one of the biggest ones or anything like that. Most of the female athletes played almost all the sports too. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
Yeah.
softball players and basketball players, they all played those sports. So yeah, there were like 2 or 3 females that I knew for sure. The guys were more undercover. And what's interesting about that is you didn't so looking back on it now, when I was in school, I couldn't tell whether certain people were or were not. But now go to homecoming, fast forward in 2022, there are people that are, who have came out and living their lives, whichever way they intend to live it.
Mhm.
And you're like, hold up, but this isn't who you were portraying yourself to be when we were in school. So,
Wow.
um, and that's from the guy standpoint. Like I said, most of the females, you kind of knew they were already. It just wasn't like, hey, they weren't announcing it to the world, but you kind of understood from the way they moved. But guys switched up and started living their lives differently
So
later on.
do you think that's because we are more accepting of women who are attracted to same sex than we are of men? Why do you think that is?
Probably. I don't know for sure. But I would venture to say that's probably a good guess. Yeah.
Mm. So also, you know how now there are all these new classifications like being non-binary or even being bisexual.
Mm-hmm.
But I just find it amazing how in the early 90s, like none of this stuff existed.
Right.
Like,
And I don't know who came up with it. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you're right. Because I believe in the early 90s, it was either gay or lesbian.
Not
and
bi.
I had probably heard the word queer before, but I thought that was just a, synonym for gay.
right.
So, and I have no idea what any of the classifications are or mean, or, what do they call it? Non-binary. And, I don't get into all of that.
Yeah, it's all new, it's all interesting, but it's just amazing how much things have changed, and it just has caused me to reflect in the not so long ago
Right.
when there was nothing. And then if you think about it, if you look at statistically how they say whatever percentage of every population is this, and I'm just like, all of these people in college had to be so deep in the closet. And
Yeah.
on a small college campus, a black college, everybody is in
It's,
everybody's business.
that's right. It's hard to keep something a secret. That's true.
How in the hell, especially the guys, and
Mhm.
I've heard after the fact of guys, but like how they managed to do it back then under those circumstances blows my mind.
They had to.
So let me ask you guys this. So when you were in high school, did you notice that there were any gay men in your high school?
There was one.
Yeah, a few.
Okay.
One.
Yeah. I think we had 2 or 3. So that's more than I knew about. I knew more gay men in high school than I did in college. And to your point, Yums, it is amazing how all of a sudden now, 30 years later, you see 2 or 3 or 4 guys that in college, presented as extremely heterosexual, and now, 30 years later, they're out of the closet, as they say, and living their lives as a gay man.
Yeah. And even like the one gay dude in high school, and he was gay in junior high as well.
Uh-huh.
But people were acting like he was the only gay, whatever. But in reality, there were other gay boys in that school who probably were just like, gosh, just don't let them find me
Oh,
out.
sure.
Right. Living in fear. Yeah.
Living in fear because this dude couldn't, because he was a little more naturally on the feminine side.
Right.
And not only that, he just didn't, he just wasn't pretending.
Mm-hmm.
Which I give him all the credit in the world to live with so much honesty during that time is revolutionary. Seriously.
Yeah. That's trendsetting. One of my roommates when I lived in Phoenix, so I had 2 roommates, and then our lease was up. So, we all moved into our separate apartments. But he was a distributor of marijuana back then. And he had a neighbor that lived upstairs from him that was a gay guy. But he said the gay guy would tell him about guys in their complex who would, come over and smoke with him. And, they'd have little sessions or whatever you would call it. And he coined a term that I had never heard of at that point. That was like in early 2000s. He said that he called the gay guy called them homo thugs.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, I had never heard that. But, he said he'd go, buy weed, go to some guy's apartment. There'd be, 3 or 4 guys in there watching porn or whatnot. And they just smoking, mess around or whatever. And I was just blown away by that. I had no thought of it. But that's how, to go back to your previous question of how did they make it through HBCU without being detected or anything like that. And I think because there probably were a lot of homo thugs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yep. I think you're right.
Probably still. A lot of them.
You're probably right.
Yeah, that's the lane.
But they don't have to be. Now, we with the advent of Pride Month, I mean, we've come a long way. We have come a long way as a society.
Absolutely.
But we still have so far to go.
Yeah, but we're getting there, and the more people are comfortable with being who they are, the better it is for everybody. So
yeah.
That's what we encourage. Yep.
So we encourage inclusion. Yes.
There you go.
Absolutely. So, well, we want to thank you so much for coming on the Yummy and Fearless podcast with the Side Chicks.
You're good sport.
Yes, and for tolerating what you tolerate to do this. We so appreciate it.
Yes. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
guys for having me. I really enjoyed being here and interacting with you guys. And I wouldn't do it if I didn't like you guys. Trust
me. Well, thank you.
Well, you have an open invitation, Mo. We kind of depend on you now. You're one of us.
Right.
Well, I appreciate that. I feel honored.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you again. And that's our show, folks.
Thank you for listening. If you like what you heard, review, subscribe, and share. It helps other listeners find us. And don't forget to follow us at Yummy Fearless on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and even Pinterest, where you'll find additional content from today's show and also our highly curated He Can Get It list. As always, you can listen to the Yummy and Fearless podcast with the Side Chicks on Apple iTunes, YouTube, Stitcher, and Spotify. And if no one else has told you today, We love you and thank you so much for listening.
You've been listening to a podcast of the Podfix Network. Discover more audible gems like this at podfixnetwork.com. Make sure to catch up-to-the-minute network shenanigans by following @Podfix on Twitter, official_Podfix on Instagram, @Podfix Network on Facebook. And make sure to subscribe to Podfix Presents wherever you choose to find podcasts. The Podfix Network, artist owned and loved.